we go. It's me, Chan. Oh, right. Fortunately, I don't have to read. Huh? I was startled to hear Rena's voice. Hmm. Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow. I'm seething with anger. Seething.
ごめん。ちょっと先生に職員室呼ばれてさ。
素行が悪くて怒られましたですか？かわいそうです。
こっちも白熱してたしね。もういい時間だから次で最後のゲームにしよ
う。Okay.
持ち点って確か0点だろ。ビリ確定じゃないのかよ。
大丈夫だよ、ケイチ君。レナ、マイナス1点。
-1 points. Oh. The heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing.
罰ゲームはレナが1人でか、ケイちゃんと2人でかを決める最終戦。
Oh poor Rena.
冗談じゃねえぞ。
Happiness hype. Yeah, it's gonna be happy.
ケイチ君と2人で勝とうって約束したのに、ずっと待ってたんだよ。
そりゃ俺が悪いな。
I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call.
わかったよ。犯人は私。凶器は毒物で、犯行現場は玄関ホール。どうかな。
I am the murderer.
回答早いじゃん。また当てずっぽうじゃないの？
レナの正解ですよ。じゃあこれでケイチさんも罰ゲーム決定ですわね。
How chivalrous of Geichi to take part in the penalty as well.
ケイチ君、一緒に頑張ろうね。
一緒に頑張ろうな。
It's my fault, so I have no choice. Yeah. Way to make Rena lose. Nothing important, definitely.
トップは私、園崎美音。ビリは前原圭一と竜宮レナ。
Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty.
じゃあ使いっ走りの系の買ってくるものはトップの私が決めようかね。
Now then, oh.
何を買いに行かされるんだろう、太郎。
薬局は禁じ手にしような。どうしたの？
薬屋なんかに用ないよ。おじさんが買ってほしいものはね、このメモに書いてあるから。
Hmm. That's gonna be a lot of... I wonder who's gonna pay for all of that. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy?
豆腐2丁。
Okay.
シャンプーとリンス。みりんに油揚げ。なんだこりゃ。
罰ゲームってよりお買い物に見えるでございますね。今日のミーは勝つ気満々でしたです。
快速第7
Rule 7?
条。罰ゲームの内容に逆らわない。
Okay.
お金。シャンプーはうち果物物語だからね。よろしく。
Well, this isn't too bad of a penalty.
俺 お前が頼まれたお使いだろう。
Well, at the very least, it is. I promised myself that I won the next time I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Well, this is. Well, isn't this game just jolly and happy and all the fun times? Higurashi. Nzeikai. Ah, new tips. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Search notice. Okay. And we got an achievement. Not a clue. Okay. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Hypovolemic shock. Okay, that's an interesting word. I haven't even heard about that yet. Ugh. Well, this is lovely.
直接死因が自殺ってのは分かってますよ。
分かっとるわい。人為的にこういう症状が起こせんかと言っとるんだろ。
Belly rubs.
背中が痒くてかきすぎて血が出ちゃうのとはちょっとわけが違いますからね。
About drawing your own blood, my hand actually opened today and I started drawing blood, which is pretty interesting. There's like a huge scar on my hand right now. Or my arm, rather. Some of Tomitake's fingernails had been pulled out. It is actually quite simple to pull out one's own nails, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Tomitake's body. Yeah, the PS3 sprites aren't working. It's rather unfortunate, but I didn't get them working. It is clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people.
分泌物から見て、仏は極度の興奮状態にあったのは間違いないの。
では乱闘になって興奮のあまり自分の喉を引っかき出したってことですか。襲った連中さぞや度肝を抜かれたでしょうな。
That would have been quite a surprise. Just attack someone and he just claws out his own throat. It is possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases.
実はな、大石。仏が武器にしたらしい角材な。砂粒とかガードレールの塗装片とか。
Yeah, you don't mess with crazy. You see somebody clawing out their own throat, you walk the frick away.
星の服の繊維とか皮膚片とかは
出んかった。仏は犯人を殴っとらん。あるいは殴った角材を星が持ち去ったのかもしれんの。
ならわざわざ角材なんて置いていきませんよ。全部持ってっちゃいます。
それもそうじゃの。
What? That's a lovely laugh.
富武氏は結構体格もいいし肌も焼けてるしスポーツマンですよね。
うん、そうだな。よく運動しとるようだの。
Is that the end of the tip? No. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once.
こんだけ体格のいい相手を取り囲んで襲おうとしたら
Oh, I wonder. Oh, gee, I wonder.
アホ、それは大石の方が得意だろうが。アクタル時代を思い出さんかい。
Bad cop days. If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down a big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage.
だとすると。 結構犯人は大人数だの。祭りで泥酔した4人以上のグループが怪しいとなるかの。
A group of 4 or more. Just if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way that he died. It's full of mysteries.
こっちもそこは重視しとる。徹底的に調べるつもりだが、あまり期待でき
Who
ん
would
な。
mess with Tomitake's abs? Indeed. Just take a look at them. I kinda wanna change the picture for the headpad. Let's put another headpad there. Let's put a GIF instead this time. I'll be what?
何しろ、過去にこんな例はないんだからな。
期待はしませんよ。ですが結果を楽しみにしてます。
Hmm.
おいさん、課長が呼んでるっす。
すみません。ではまた来年お会いしましょう。
Jeez, it's only been a 2-hour-long stream and I'm already getting tired. That's surprising. Search notice. Jiro Tomitake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomitake. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival. Accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police. Location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba, along the Sobu National Railway line. No individual matching the name Jiro Tomitake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Sent to Metropolis. Attach a photo. Sent to Metropolis. Contacting magazines regarding Jiro Tomitake. Mio Takano, missing. Nurse at Irie Clinic. Became close to Tomitake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinomiya X District XX. Single. Witnessed accompanying Tomitake on the festival grounds, currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oishi. Well. Definitely not a mood breaker or anything. End of chapter 7. Sleepy. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. Yes, that last bit was clearly the most important. Cream puffs are always important. Hype!
ゆうべ遅くまでテレビ見てたら眠くて眠くて。
ケイちゃんが喜びそうな番組なんかやってたっけ？
How vile!
ちょっと待て。勝手に想像して決めつけるんじゃねえ。
That's a lot of words for such a simple phrase.
男の子なら当然です。恥ずかしくないですよ。
Oh, Rika. You. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse.
ちょっとこの昼休みは爆睡させてくれ。いや、ほんと、マジで。
私が黙って見過ごすとお思いで。
邪魔したら怒る。すごい怒る。
Come on, don't yawn. It's making me yawn as well. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear.
さとこちゃんやめなよ。ケイチくん寝ちゃった。寝顔かい。
後でお持ち帰りしていいからそっとしときな。
向こうへ移動しましょうです。ケイチにうるさいと悪いですよ。
Rika-chan really is a good girl.
先生が来ても起こさないであげましょうです。
I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this.
それっていつから？
もう次の日にはいなかったって。綿流しの晩に失踪したらしいよ。
Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san?
さん、けなの？
わかんない。私の知る限りではね。
I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on the discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung.
で、他にもいるんでしょ？か。
彼女がたたりにあったのか、鬼隠しにあったのかはわかんないけどね。
Onikakushi. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good.
いや、何せよ。もだよね。
お社様ならね。
Ugh.
でも今年は出ないよ。
バッチャと村長さんが話してたんだけどさ、今年は事前に警察と話がつけてあるらしいんだよ。何が起こっても騒ぎにしないで穏便に片付けるって。
Okay.
レナたちが知らないだけで、どこかで誰かがかもしれない。
How mysterious.
かもね。
次はレナかな。
安心しなよ。レナはちゃんと帰ってきたよ。
でも、ダメだったんでしょ？
昔の話だよ。もうやめよう、この話。
Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi, to be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I don't know her name, vanished after Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said that there's another, right? Mion also said, if it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of Onikakushi. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. Lovely. I recall Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would be best described as cursed. Then the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away. But what I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't the guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san, informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret even ever having learned of these events. And so the mood changes again abruptly. What a lovely mood shift. In the distance I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of the afternoon classes. Yeah, I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat. And I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Nice. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Clomp clomp wish wish wish. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. No Satoko prank in the anime, that's a terrible loss. In any case, I apologized even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Yeah, Satoko is quite a little brat. Damn her, I'll remember this. I will remember this. I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oishi-san. Rena and I weren't even able to test our strategy.
そうだね。今日こそケイチ君と二人で大勝利だよね。でもどうでしょうね。同じゲームを続けて2日やった試しはあります。
I have no idea what they're gonna do there. It's probably, I actually bet it's not gonna be a board game. It's probably going to play not a card game either. I think it's going to be something completely different. Well, that's my guess. And this time Satoku will lose. I'm sure of it. It'll be a fine time for that.
ミーにお願いしてみたらどうでしょうです。
Mian looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up.
いっけね。今日おじさんの手伝いの日だ。
Oh.
悪いみんな、今日なし。
おじさんの手伝い？柄にもなく高校なやつだな。
Little goody two shoe.
悪い。ほんとすっかり忘れてた。じゃあごめんねみんな。今日はおじさんこれで帰るわ。
Huh. Well, that is unusual. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag.
みーちゃんね、たまに街にあるおじさんのお店の手伝いに行くんだよ。
Oh, okay. Ah, I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
バイト代が出ると言ってましたですわ。
Oh, well, that would explain it.
結構なお小遣いになるらしいですの。
Well, work does pay good money, so... I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there.
しかしそれはアルバイトというんじゃないのか？校則で禁止されてないか？
家事手伝いは除くと書いてありますです。
Oh, well, that is quite a bit of an exclusion. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today?
じゃあ今日はこれで解散かな。
別に部長不在でもいいだろう。やろうぜ、部活。
I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games.
あった。昨日の推理ゲーム。ようやくコツが分かってきたところで中断しちゃったからな。
At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break.
私は構いませんけど、レナさんとリカはどういたします？ケイチ君がどうしてもって言うなら、ちょっとだけいいかな。僕はみんなが揃っての方がいいなと思いますです。
When she says it like that,
部活がないなら、僕はお買い物に行きたかったのです。お醤油とかを買いに行きますですよ。
Okay.
そうでしたわね。すっかり忘れてましたわ。なら、レナも久しぶりに宝探しに行こうかな。
Oh, Rena. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. Well, I did not guess this one. If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah well, I'll give up this time.
このゲーム楽しみにしていたのにな。
I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it.
またの機会に叩きのめして差し上げましたよ。
The Ojo-sama laugh. How obnoxious.
犯人はサトコ。凶器はピストル。やはり貴様の仕業だったか。
なんですって？じゃあ。
Satoku looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me.
犯人はケイチ。凶器はロープで、犯行現場はラウンジですわ。
Oh, rope is such a gentle way to kill someone.
ロープなんかいらねえ。このまま締め殺してやら。
How excessively violent. You. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. How unfortunate. Well, it's just fair. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered guards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi. Well, that is certainly a name that I do recognize. Well, things just got quite a bit more interesting. Satoshi. Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. It's a happy name, yeah. Yeah, definitely. You know, this game's completely happy. There's nothing bad that could happen in this game. It's all the things about it is just everything's happy and jolly and fine. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already... I mean, there was just one murder, but that's just, you know, that's usual. That's a good murder between friends. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave.
Rena, やっぱりこのクラスからも転校で出て行っちゃった生徒って結構いるんだろ?
I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered.
ひなみ沢って田舎でしょ? 転校していっちゃう人も時々いるよ。
じゃあ、このサトシってやつも転校してったのか?
ごめん。よく知らないの。
There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
その、意地悪で言ってるんじゃないの。ちょうど去年、レナが転校してきてから入れ替わりだったかな。だから、あんまりお話ししたことないの。ごめんね。
I am not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I am their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? So I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse string from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi can certainly make some scary faces. It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Yeah, definitely confront Rena. I rustled Rena's hair. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. Rena is definitely the right person to confront about these kinds of things. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry.
圭一君、疲れてるのかなかな
Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made this situation even more unsettling.
そうか？
うん。今朝から圭一君、なんだか元気ないよ。風邪かな
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I have had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
きっと圭一君、引っ越しの疲れが今になってきたんだよ。前に住んでたところとは全然違うところだもん。
Oh, what a good excuse that is.
いろいろ慣れたり覚えたり、疲れて当然だよ。
そうなのかな。
うん。
Yeah, sure, that's it.
絶対にそうだよ。
Yes, it has to be it. There is no other excuse.
レナも最初そうだったから。
Rena is such a nice girl. She's very sweet and loving
わ
and
かるんだよ。
dear.
だよ。
She's so nice. I wondered if Rena also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt.
レナがひなみ沢に転校してきた時の話が聞きたいな。どんなだった？
Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
圭一君と同じだよ。人の名前も村の中も全然みーちゃんとかが親切にしてくれたから全然寂しくなかったけど、やっぱり心細かったよ。
Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times.
レナもサトコにやられたのかよ。
うん。椅子に座ろうとしたら画鋲が置いてあったの。どっさり。そしたらそれを。
Then with that, I murdered her.
懐かしいな。
ミオンの部活にはいつ頃誘われたんだ？早速初日にか？
うんうん。最初は部活なんてなかったんだよ。
Oh, that is weird.
途中からできたの。
But why was there Satoko as a card then? The mystery deepens.
放課後にみんなで残ってゲーム大会をやろうって言い出して。
そういえばミオン初代部長とか言ってたっけな。納得。
内緒だけどね、みーちゃん最初は弱かったんだよ。
Okay.
全然勝てなかった。
ミオンが？ちょっと想像つかないぞ。
自分で言い出した罰ゲームほとんど自分でやってたんだよ。本当に内緒だからね。
I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
みーちゃん以外ともちょっとずつお友達になれて。でも、うん。圭一くんが引っ越してきてからかな。ようやくここに馴染めたって自覚したのは。
I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them.
俺はいつになったら仲間だと認めてもらえるんだろうな。
Well, that is rather a straightforward question.
なんて言ったの？
あ、いや、ごめん。独り言。
圭一くん変なの。
Oh. Oh, Rena was poking fun at laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke.
なあ、レナ。
Music stopped. That's always a good sign.
みんなは俺に嘘や隠し事なんかしてないよな。
してないよ、全然。
嘘だろ。
Ooh. Wow, this is gonna... I gotta really chill down my spine right now. Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
どういう意味だろう。
Oh.
ケイチ君。
And the music's back on. Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as
し
before.
てるよな。俺に隠し事を。
After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way that I didn't expect.
じゃあさ、ケイチ君。
Oh god! Jesus Christ, that scared me. I wanna see how this looks in the updated. Oh god! I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, man. Let's put this back on. It looks a little bit happier. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
ケイチ君こそ、レナたちに嘘や隠し事をしてないかな。
Oh god, it's getting hot in here. Her tone didn't change. Ugh. Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena.
してないかな。嘘や隠し事。
Yeah. 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 Jesus Christ, man, that is scary.
してないかな。
You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san, to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then aren't we even?
してないよ。嘘も。
Let's put headpad there. Let's just have a headpad there. To make everything... Headpads. We need more headpads here. Like right now. More headpads. Yeah, that's good. Oh.
隠し事も。
嘘だよ。
Ugh. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk.
どうして嘘だって。
I kinda want to get spooked, so let's keep this here. Because god damn, that looks creepy.
ケイチ君、昨日の部活の時、レナは知ってるよ。ケイチ君は職員室になんか行かなかった。
I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened.
先生はお客さんが来たって言ったんだよね。でも、昇降口ではお話ししてなかった。校門のところの車の中で話をしてたよね。知らないおじさんと。
Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
誰？あのおじさん。
知らない人だよ。
知らない人がなんでケイチ君に用があるの？
俺が知りたいよ。
じゃあ何の話をしていたの？
みんなとは関係のない話だよ。
It was a lie. Now let's see how that looks in the original. No, that's not as... Oh. Oh, what's that picture? Let's look at something... That's hilarious. I held my cookie in the milk until the bubbles stopped. Jesus. Oh my god. This... Jesus Christ. Oh god, this is scary. This is actually really quite creepy. Rena's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. Oh? I wanna see these expressions in both of these. Oh, that's quite calm. I like that. Like, you... I wanna see them, like, with these, because these look so much more disturbing. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
Ne?
And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile, it chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. We need more headbats. Oh god. Oh my goodness gracious. More headbats, please. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. I covered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine or to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke. Fucking Christ, what a moment. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Oh, is that the CG? That's... Oh, that is such a good CG. Holy shit. It's a shame that I missed that.
あれは誰だったんだよ。
I forgot how creepy Higurashi could be. I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? Jesus Christ, man. Wow, I didn't imagine how shocking such a simple moment could be. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner, except stare blankly into space. Yeah. 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 This, I just, oh my god, this is that was such an effective moment, holy shit. I was terrified from Rena going off on me. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. There was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around in my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Bookstore? Can't think of what they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. What's this big now? Ugh. Yeah, that moment from the anime. Yeah, no, we're not gonna put that gif in. That's not a lovely gif. That's creepy gif. Jesus. I don't want to be reminded of that moment. Actually, I kinda do. Jesus Christ, that's good.
夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。私、沖宮書房の大石と申します。
Oh, is she?
大石さん大石さんじゃないですか。
ごめんなさいね。ご両親が出られたので、本屋さんということにしておきました。警察ですって名乗ると、いろいろ気分を害されるでしょうしね。
Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. Okay, that's a good idea. Every creepy day, we'll put a creepy gif. So the next day it gets creepy. We are gonna add a creepy gif. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor.
夜分遅くにすみませんですね。実は昨日渡した電話番号のメモ、あれ古い番号だったんです。本当に申し訳ない。これから申し上げる番号を控えておいてもらえますか。
あ、はい。どうぞ。
He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk and it was pretty hard to hang up.
さて、どうでしょう、前原さん。何か変わったことはありましたか？
Oh, I wonder. I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed.
大石さんはここの地元の方ですか？
ええ、そうです。生まれも育ちも沖宮ですよ。
If he's from around here, he might know.
大石さん、鬼隠しって何のことか知ってますか？
それはですね、人が鬼にさらわれ、忽然といなくなってしまうことなんです。
Oh boy.
この辺り独特の言い回しですね。世間様で言う神隠しと同じ意味です。
Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. Made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything.
平見沢は、前原さんにこんなこと言っていいんでしょうか。
もったいぶらないでくださいよ。大石さんが言わないなら、俺も何も言いませんよ。
ああ、いやいや、そういう意味じゃないんですよ。ただその気を悪くされないかと思いましてね。
Well then.
実はですね、ひなみ沢はその昔、鬼の住む里って呼ばれて恐れられていたんですよ。
I just can't shake off that Rena out of my mind. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Holy shit.
鬼鬼って地獄にいる金棒を持った
ナボ。
というよりは人食い鬼ですな。
And here we go. We're gonna have the first disturbing gif.
里に降りてきて人をさらって食い散らかしてしまう。
Even though it's not that disturbing,
怖い昔話があるんですよ。
it's a huge contrast to the other ones. Demons snatching up people off is what this Onikakushi really
タ
means.
タリと鬼隠しは一緒に起こるって言ってましたけど、どういうことですか？
I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years.
タタリと鬼隠しが必ず一緒に？それは初めて聞きました。
Well, it's good thing that the police don't know about it.
そうなんですか、前原さん。
それは俺が聞きたいですよ。レナとミオンが話してたんです。お社様のタタリなら必ずタタリと鬼隠しが起こるって。
Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind?
前原さん。最初の事件ご存知ですよね。バラバラ殺人。
ええ。6人の犯人のうち1人はまだ逃走中なんですよね。
例えばそれ。逃走中じゃなく鬼隠しにあったんじゃないでしょうかね。
Well. Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off.
じゃあその翌年の事故はどうです？誘致派の男と妻が一緒に事故死したんですよね。
実はですね、正式には事故死したのは夫だけなんです。
Yeah, this is gonna get lovely.
妻は死体が上がりませんでしたから。現行法では死体が発見されない限り行方不明扱いなんですよ。
At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch of the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end they weren't able to find her body.
でも死体が見つからないだけで亡くなったんですよね。鬼隠しとは違うんじゃないですか？
死体が出ない以上亡くなったとは言えません。法律で定めた年月が過ぎるまで生存扱いなんです。
I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality.
3年目はどうなんですか？神主は病死、妻は自殺ですよ。
前原さん、実はね、これも全く同じなんですよ。
Oh god, we're gonna need some more creepy gifs, don't we? The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere.
これらを鬼隠しと呼んでいいかちょっとわかりませんがね。前原さんの言う通り、確かに毎年一人行方不明になっています。
Things got so interesting.
今年の事件では富武さんの連れの女の人が行方不明。じゃあ去年の主婦の撲殺事件はどうです？誰か行方不明になりましたか？確か犯人は逮捕されたんですよね。
ええ、逮捕されてます。以前に逮捕歴もあるやつでしてね。別件で取り調べ中に犯行を自供してます。ですがですね。
Well.
犯人逮捕からしばらくして、被害者宅の子供が行方不明に。
Yeah. Oh gee, peace. I wonder who that was. We'll never know the answer, will we?
犯罪に巻き込まれたのかどうなのか。現在も捜査してます。
だって犯人は捕まったんですよね。それともその仲間が？
さあ、多分単独犯だと思います。もっとも今では確かめようもないんですよ。実はその男、取り調べ中に拘置所内でお亡くなりになっちゃった。
Oh, that is lovely. Are we? I don't think we're even halfway through this scenario yet. More creepy gifs. That's gonna be for the next day that starts a creepy event. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. Oh! It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide.
つまり過去5年間必ず死者と行方不明者が一人ずつ出ているわけなんですよね。
そうなります。ね、私も驚いていますよ。こんな共通項には気づきませんでした。
I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common.
例えば鬼隠しにあって失踪した人には何か共通点があるとか。
Oishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events.
1年目はダムの作業員、2年目は誘致派の男の妻、
Spork. Yeah.
3年目は神主の妻、
Damn abomination. A filthy creation.
4年目は被害者宅の子供で、5年目は交際相手かな。特につながりはなさそうだし。
1年目はともかく、妻とか交際相手とか、そういう人が目立ちますな。
Yep. It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples. Except it's not just married couples but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san was also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly.
5年目に行方不明になった子供ってどんなだったんですか？
Oh, are we going to get the answer to this?
おとなしい感じの方だったらしいです。
Oh gee, I wonder who it could have been.
年はあなたの一つ上です。名前は北条聡さん。
God damn, the musical engineering in this game is just absolutely fantastic.
え？サトシ？
I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year?
あなたの学校に去年まで通っていました。話を聞いていませんか？
Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then where I sat once belonged to the one who was steamed away. It was his seat? I recall the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. Oh, this string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation. It was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Ooh boy, I think we're gonna pause the recording for a second, because I wanna go on for another hour or so, because this just got so goddamn interesting. StarCraft will have to wait. Reseteer will have to wait. I want to get more into this. Actually, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and go get myself some water. So I'll be right back with you all. And let me pause the recording for a second. Remind me to continue the recording.